Hello everybody, it's Dev, the Modernist Colourist. I'm going to do a few flip throughs now by request. So I'm going to separate them into 4 videos rather than do one video with 4 books on, so people don't get bored, and then you can see the title of the individual video. So of course, first of all, I had quite a lot of requests for this book, having shown it in the haul. This is the Dark Crystal colouring book, and it's by Jim Henson. It's a very well made book. It's got a lovely front cover with the title on, and then on the back it tells you a little bit about Jim Henson's classic film. The paper is extremely thick. It's very, very good quality, and the images are one-sided. So going through the book, let's have a look. I'm just trying to get the right angle. Okay. So the opening page just got the title really, explaining you that it's published by Archaea. The cover is by George Corona, and the illustrations are by J. Lee. So that's the first image. It's very different, very unique. It's slightly grayscale, this one, but like I said, the paper is fantastic quality. And then moving on, we've got a little more of a line art picture as opposed to the previous grayscale. I've got a few rocks here, a creature, and then you've got the 3 moons, which could be coloured in various colours, and I guess we could do like the glow that comes off them. So that's not a bad first couple of pictures as we get through it. There's another grayscale one here. This is a chap, I think I mentioned this in me haul, who's got this massive rock and trees and stuff in his hair. It does look really good, but obviously once coloured I think it'd look fantastic. You'll be able to use markers, most sort of mediums on this paper, it'll take anything. So here we have what looks a bit like Stonehenge, but it's like a rock crystal base. You've got the creature here, which I'm not sure is made out of rock or not. Then you've got some guy here with a sword. You've got various other rocks, and then you've got another kind of these two acting like gargoyles, I think, and then the path leads up to the entrance. And then of course you've got the 2 creatures here who are part of the story, and then you've got these 2 long-legged, what look like a cross between an ant and a pelican really. So yeah, very unusual, but that's what I like unusual. This is a good one. The background is kind of spiroglyphic. You've got all sorts of shading and intricate parts to colour that could jump off the page. And then of course you've got the character here, and one of those creatures that was acting as a gargoyle before. Then we have another one here, small character having crosswords with what looks like a pterodactyl. You've got a cage here, which I presume is all metallic. The scope for the pages here are just phenomenal. Then you've got like a weary kind of creature here with all the robing on it. Again, that's down to the colourist's interpretation, but there's a lot of colours there that you could make stand out. And then you've got this one, I quite like this one. You've got the 2 characters from the Dark Crystal. You've got the Greenlands. It's kind of a setting scene, this one. Trees in the background, a rockery and a path there. And the female one is cuddling a little creature there. So That's another good picture. As too is this one, a little heavier in the line art, but again, a lot of different colours that you can colour to make jump out. I mean, all this here on the draping of the sleeves and the hood lends itself to blend the colours excellently with the dark and the light. Then you've got this one that appears to be like a falling rock. You've got the old pterodactyl I mentioned earlier, some other couple of creatures here, and one of the characters jumping down with the rock off the ledge. Again, another quite unique picture with plants that you wouldn't normally see in any colouring books, albeit they are phallic shaped, but again, they've got the shading on the bottoms of each plant, so they could be shaded in really nicely on those. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people around the pterodactyl's bed. I'm presuming respecting his last wishes or something similar of that ilk. But I don't know if you notice, on all the pterodactyl type creatures, they've all got different headwear on them. I don't know if that's the order of superiority, or whether it's just that they're all different types of soldier, but they all look armed and quite dangerous. And you've got the tent feature with the bowing roof here at the top. So that's a very interesting image that can be coloured. Then it looks as like we're showing things from a distance here. You've got the big rocked kind of castle. You've got the dead sort of vegetation in the background. Then you've got a couple of planets again. And then you've got some different creatures here in armour with pincers, almost like crabs. But they look very much like an ant or a spider's face. And then you've got what looks to be the matriarch of the lot, barking out orders at the top with his staff in his hand. Then you've got one of the main characters playing a flute. I love this one, to be fair. You've got the trees here, you've got the running water at the side. You've got another tree here, then you've got him. I think that could lend to a really good image to colour. And then of course you've got the sky in the background, depending on what setting you wanted to do it in, day or night. That'd totally be up to you. Well, that's a good one. The other thing I like about this book as well is that most of the images, when they get to the heavy line art, have got a frame around them. So you're not kind of digging into the spine of the book, and then on top of that, you know, it finishes it off in quite a nice, in quite a nice manner. Here you've got two main characters trying to get in through a door that appears to have loads of kind of hieroglyphics on the door. You've got some bedded trees here, some fruit trees. Again, you've got this pterodactyl kind of creature looking down. It's almost a cross between a vulture and a pterodactyl. And then the brickwork in between. Then here, not really sure what that is. There's just an empty throne by the look of things. And then you've got this creature that we saw earlier, was very sad. You've got him kind of crawling on all fours. Again, down to you, but you could make some really striking colours with this. Even gel pen on some of the small intricate parts would look phenomenal. Then we have our main character here climbing through rocks. Obviously there's some little debris falling off, so he's struggling to get up here. And then in the background you've got the rockery and then some trees. Again, tidied off with a nice little frame. And this looks like some kind of banquet. There's lots of characters in this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 characters in the page. You've got the two main characters, and you've got some elf-like creatures. Maybe not elf because they've not got the big ears, but they're almost small characters. You've got one playing a kind of instrument up here, guitar kind of instrument. One playing some pipes, sat in the tree, which is really cute. Then you got all this food. They're sat having a banquet. I've just noticed that the illustrator for this particular page is Brandon Dayton, which was different to the original few. This is Brandon Dayton again. So of course we've got this creature here, two like what look like royalty, or certainly some emperor of kind, that kind of thing. And in the sky you've got, it's either a ship or the ceiling of a palace. But the detail in this is just incredible. I do like this one as well. You got one of our main characters here walking away from the page in this narrow sort of valley. You've got all this sort of tree work at the bottom. You've got the stones. You've got the moons at the background with the mist going across. So that could be really, really good once coloured. That one's by Dylan Burnett. Moving on. We have the female main character here. Looks to be flying along with a creature. Not sure what creature that is. But again, it's a very vivid imagination that the illustrators have. It's not your run-of-the-mill sort of colouring pages. I think this one's fantastic. This one would look really good coloured, especially with marker around here in the heavy line, and then tipped off with pencil for your more intricate work. And then you've got the moons in the background with the bats flying through it. I think that'd look really good coloured. Then we have this character and the pterodactyl type character again with his staff. This one's got an axe. Plenty of detail on each character, which would look good once coloured again. I can hardly turn these pages, they're that thick. And then we have another one similar to the previous image that we had with this guy playing the flute. He's sat on the riverbank this time. There's the river running through. There's a waterfall at the end of it. Excellent artwork in this. Really good. So impressed with the book. You've got the couple here. The main character's flying down through a crevice. Looks like a rockscape of where they're going to land. I'm not sure if that's sky or water at the bottom. I think it's sky. Random creature here with details in each corner with the frame. It'd look very, very good coloured. No doubt about that. Just not sure what the creature is. And then we move on. Main character here in the middle, obviously troubled by four others staring at him. Looks as though he's going to be attacked at any moment. These have got the sharp pincers out. There's so much detail on here. I mean, you could do all these four uniformal to make them all the same and then him standing out. Or of course you can colour them any way you want. I really do like this. You've got, again, the main character. It's a small portrayal here. Some kind of witch, but then you've got all these kind of globes and almost steampunk mechanics all the way through, which is rising up. Again, that would look absolutely phenomenal coloured. As too would this one. I'm not too keen on the hair, obviously, because it doesn't really allow you to choose a colour, but everything else, perfect. You've got the guy with the staff again, and his long tail, which is full of detail. climbing up a hill, and you've got his colleagues behind him, slowly traipsing up. And then you've got this whirlwind kind of sky, which, you know, having looked at it, I'd probably like to do that in like orange and yellows and that kind of thing, and reds in the darker places, to make it look like it's not from Earth. Really like this one as well. The two main characters again, sat by this riverbank. As you can see, you've got all the detail with fruits on the trees here, some unrecognisable plants but good detail and flowers. I can't think of any image in this book that really wouldn't look good coloured. The artwork is superb, and it's got all the markings there for you to be able to shade, so that's really good and a plus. Again, here you've got these weird characters, the ones that always look sad. There's three of them here. I don't know if they're praying or crying or chanting, one of the two, one of the three other. And then you got the other one at the top of this bridge here. And then you got this cute guy, almost like a little elf or a troll, playing a guitar type instrument with all the woods and the flowers and the trees in the background. Again, another one that'll be superb when it's finished. Got the pterodactyl kind of character here with his staff. Then you've got this almost dragon type character that's holding on to something. Looks as though he's going to strike. The expression on his face here looks quite frightened. Another great one. Two main characters, they've gone through a crevice in the rocks. You've got all this rockery, trees, berries, some slabs here, and then of course you've got the two main characters. I think what I'm going to do with this book is try and keep the two main characters in the same colours all the way through. If I manage to find a good combo for them, then it'll be nice to sort of look through the book and, you know, they're dressed the same all the way through. And then this one, very weird this one. You've got three kind of creatures here holding a baby. Then you've got a small toddler here with three other creatures looking on. And then you've got this sort of beetle type character, and then you've got the one that's always been sad, reaching out to the toddler. You've got two hands here that look as though they're struggling to keep together as they're falling down. So the imagery in here is very well thought out for a colouring book, I must admit. I just missed a page there. Okay, so then you've got characters again. I don't have to keep repeating what they are. You can pretty much see what they are. This is more lighter, as in line art. You could use watercolours on these, and then use pencil detail for the smaller pieces. This is that dragon sort of character we saw before, with some kind of funky belt here, with the belt buckle looking like Yoda. But that's kind of cool. And then you've got all the crystals here at the side of him. So it'd be nice to look up how to colour a crystal and get those practiced on there. This is more of a sketch art kind of image, but I do like it. I might leave that one in so much that it just looks good on its own. But like I mentioned earlier, I am trying to keep the two main characters uniformal, so it may well be that I add a little bit to it. And then of course, I think this is the, oh no, it's not the front cover, but very similar. You've got this kind of mushroom plant with branches coming out of it, and then you've got these two characters here, and it's all just fantasy stuff, but it's so well drawn. And the paper, you know, like I said, is so thick. You could use anything in this book. Again, you've got the sketchy type art. This is by J. Lee again. I think that'd look good in pencil. And then of course you've got this, which is a horned animal with one eye shut, one eye open. It's got all these, well, look like paws, but they're more like knurled kind of fingers, really. And then of course you've got the rockery in the background again. I think I might try Inktense on some of these rocks and see how that goes, because the paper will certainly take it. And then you've got all these crystals here with the skull and crossbones in the middle, and it's showing it you from three angles. This is face on, that's looking at the left hand side of it, and that's looking at the right hand side of it. And of course you've got either smoke or water at the bottom. I think that's down to the colourist interpretation. And this is the front cover, yes. So you've got this this pterodactyl kind of vulture creature here. That's the one that we've been calling Sad here. Two main characters, this large multi-beveled crystal in the middle, which would look absolutely superb coloured. You've got a creature here with its mouth open and various other little intricate sort of creatures hidden into the rockery here. And then it finishes off with this kind of page like it's got at the front. I'll just show you. So I'm imagining that these pages can be used to test your mediums on. I wouldn't have thought that there'd be any struggle with anything in this book, it's that thick, but it would be sort of advisable to test it as far as the smoothness or the tooth of the paper. You'll be able to determine which pencils are best. So that's a flip through of The Dark Crystal by Jim Henson. I had multiple requests asking for that one, so hopefully that's been an enjoyable video for you. I am going to do 3 more in consecutive videos, so this is part 1 of 4 really. So obviously if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, then please subscribe, and then I'll look forward to speaking to you all soon. Thank you.